Okay, let's talk about Paimon. I know what you're thinking. She's just that tiny, chatty travel buddy who's always hovering around, making jokes and reminding you where the next waypoint is. But what if there's way more to her than meets the eye? Picture this. Every time you hear that familiar, high-pitched voice, you might actually be catching a glimpse of an ancient, mysterious force at work. What if Paimon isn't merely an over-enthusiastic guide, but someone or something with a past that spans the divine and the dangerous? Over the years, fans have spun some truly wild theories about her true nature. Could she be a fated god? A lost spirit of old? A false idol spawned from Kaenria's darkest experiments? Or even a secret operative working for Celestia? Join me on a deep dive of fan theories about the possible origins of Paimon, because sometimes even the smallest characters hide the biggest secrets. Let's kick things off with one of the most eyebrow-raising ideas floating around the community. What if Paimon was once a fully fledged deity, a powerful unknown god who ruled in a time when divinity was raw and unfiltered? Now, before you laugh, hear me out. Imagine a world where gods roamed free, their powers nearly limitless. In that grand cosmic era, Paimon might have been one of those supreme beings, revered or feared for her ability to influence fate, guide mortals, and maybe even shape the ebb and flow of Tevat's destiny. Over time, though, something went terribly wrong. Maybe she clashed with other titanic forces, or perhaps Celestia itself decided she'd had enough of divine meddling. Whatever the cause, Paimon was stripped of most of her godly glory, left diminished like a ghost of her former self. But here's the twist. Even in this reduced state, remnants of her divine nature might still shimmer beneath the surface. Have you ever noticed how, in moments of serious crisis, Paimon drops lines that seem way too profound for a simple guide? It's almost as if she's trying to recall old memories of celestial power, slipping bits of divine wisdom between her usual chatter. This theory isn't just a case of what if. It's fueled by every inexplicable quip and knowing smile that hints at a past more dramatic than we are led to believe. The idea is that a being who once commanded the forces of nature could still be making her way through the mortal realm, trying to find meaning or even a way to reclaim what she's lost. And isn't that a story we can all relate to on some level? The notion that someone might be more than what they seem, a fallen star lingering on the fringes of greatness, is a narrative that tugs at our hearts. So, next time you're trudging through a challenging domain in Tevat, listen carefully. That offhand remark might just be a whisper of ancient power struggling to break through. Now let's switch gears a bit. Another theory that's been gaining traction in the community is the idea that Paimon isn't a diminished god at all, but rather a lost Seelie or guiding spirit. In the world of Tevat, Seelie are those whimsical, glowing creatures that seem to embody the magic and mystery of nature itself. They're gentle, sometimes mischievous, but always there when you need a little nudge in the right direction. What if instead of being some fallen deity, Paimon was originally a Seelie whose only purpose was to help lost souls find their way? Imagine her floating along the winds, her eyes full of wonder and mischief, guiding travelers not just physically, but also offering a spark of hope in times of despair. In this interpretation, every bit of advice she offers every time she pops up in a moment of dire need is less about ancient cosmic power and more about a deep-rooted desire to help. It's the kind of guidance you get from a friend who's been through the thick and thin of life, someone who knows that every setback is just a detour to something greater. This theory has a charm of its own. It paints Paimon as a gentle guardian whose whimsical demeanor is a testament to her true purpose to make sure that no traveler in Tevat ever truly loses their way. It's as if she's a living, breathing GPS for the soul, a constant reminder that even in a world filled with gods, monsters, and cosmic horrors, there's always a light-hearted guide ready to help you navigate the maze. So, next time you catch her chattering away about food or the weather, maybe she's not just being quirky. She could be the gentle echo of an ancient guiding spirit, here to remind you that sometimes the best way forward is to just follow the light. Alright, now we are venturing into some darker territory. Some fans propose that Paimon might not be as benign as she seems at all. In this theory, she's cast not as a divine or benevolent spirit, but as a false god, an artificial deity crafted in the tumultuous doomed crucible of Khaenri'ah. For those of you familiar with the lore, Khaenri'ah isn't exactly known for its heavenly light. It's a place of rebellion, tragedy, and a deep-seated resentment against the established order of Celestia. According to this idea, long ago when Khaenri'ah was still a hotbed of radical ideas and desperate experiments, some brilliant, or perhaps dangerously misguided minds decided to create a deity. Their goal? To harness the raw power of the cosmos and manipulate the masses by giving them someone to worship, a false god who could rally the people and serve their own hidden agenda. And here's where Paimon comes in. In this narrative, the cheerful, bubbly face we've all come to know isn't the result of a cosmic accident. It's a meticulously crafted mask, designed to disguise a much more sinister origin. Think about it. If Paimon were a product of Khaenri'ah's twisted ambitions, every witty comment and seemingly offhand remark might be a carefully placed clue, a breadcrumb left to obscure her true purpose. Instead of being a spontaneous companion, she'd be a planted icon, a tool of manipulation meant to sway public opinion and keep the real power brokers hidden in the shadows. It's a theory that certainly raises the stakes. The idea that every comforting word from your little guide could be laced with secret directives is both chilling and, dare I say, fascinating. And while it might seem far-fetched at first, it's a reminder of how, in a world as unpredictable as Teyvat, nothing is ever truly as simple as it appears. After all, when a false god is involved, even the sweetest voice might be hiding a venomous bite. Last but not least, we come to one of the most espionage-packed theories out there. This one suggests that Paimon might actually be a covert agent, a spy working for Celestia itself. Now, if you've ever felt that odd sensation that your travel companion seems to know just a little too much about the inner workings of Teyvat's political and divine landscape, you're not alone. Imagine if every time Paimon offered her helpful advice, she was really passing along critical intel to the gods high above. Under this lens, her presence in every nook and cranny of the realm isn't a coincidence. It's part of a calculated operation. As a Celestia operative, she'd be tasked with keeping tabs on everything from the minor skirmishes between local factions to the grand sweeping moves of divine machinations. Her constant chatter, the way she seems to pop up right when things are about to get interesting, these might not just be quirks of personality, but carefully orchestrated maneuvers designed to gather information and report back to her superiors. This theory gives Paimon an entirely new level of intrigue. It's as if she's not just there to make your journey a bit more entertaining, but to act as a living surveillance device in a realm where secrets are currency. One minute you're laughing at one of her jokes about Liyue's food, and the next you're left wondering if that same joke was a coded message meant for Celestia's ears. The idea that she could be balancing her role as a friendly guide while simultaneously spying on everything around her adds a delicious layer of complexity to her character. It makes every conversation feel loaded with hidden meaning and every seemingly innocuous comment a potential piece of a much larger puzzle. So, what do we make of all these theories? In truth, the beauty of the Genshin Impact universe is that it leaves so many doors open for interpretation. Paimon, whether she's a fated deity, a lost guiding spirit, a false god from Khaenri'ah, or even a cunning Celestia spy, remains one of the game's most enduring mysteries. And perhaps that's the point. The layered, enigmatic nature of her character is what keeps fans coming back for more, each theory adding its own flavor to the ever-evolving lore of Teyvat. In a way, Paimon's mystery mirrors our own journeys. We all have layers that aren't immediately visible, hidden depths, secret ambitions, and sometimes a past that we are not quite ready to reveal. And just like the land of Teyvat, where every corner hides a new story waiting to be discovered, our travels are enriched by the unknown and the unpredictable. So, the next time you're exploring a lush forest in Mondstadt or scaling the rugged peaks of Liyue, take a moment to listen to Paimon's light-hearted banter. Ask yourself, is there more to her than just quirky commentary? Could her words be laced with the echoes of an ancient power, or might they be a cleverly disguised message from a celestial superstructure monitoring the realm? And if nothing else, let her presence be a reminder that every journey is full of surprises, both grand and minute. After all, in Teyvat, every traveler's experience is unique, and sometimes the most fascinating mysteries are the ones that invite us to look beyond the obvious. In the end, whether Paimon is a relic of lost divinity, a guiding light in times of darkness, an elaborate fabrication of Gaenria's defined past, or a secretive agent in the celestial Game of Thrones, she remains an integral part of the adventure, a tiny, ever-present reminder that even the simplest companions can harbor the deepest secrets. At the end of the day, it might not matter which theory turns out to be true, if any do really. What makes the discussion around Paimon so endlessly engaging is the invitation it offers us to imagine, to speculate, and to connect with the vast, layered world of Genshin Impact in our own personal way. It's a celebration of mystery, a playful nod to the fact that in a universe as rich and unpredictable as this one, even a character meant to be a simple guide can evolve into something legendary. So, here's to Paimon, the spark of conversation, the ever-present companion, and the enigma that continues to capture our hearts and minds. Whether you see her as a shadow of lost godhood, a benevolent guiding spirit, a dark echo of Gaenria's ambitions, or a savvy spy keeping tabs on celestial affairs, one thing is for sure. Her presence makes our journey through Teyvat all the more interesting. And in a realm where nothing is ever as it seems, isn't that just the best kind of adventure?